Well, the race is now underway. We are starting in Link's house. That has not changed. We have a bomb in Link's house. We have 20 bucks in the Sanctuary. Let's see where the Sanctuary ends up today. Oh, the Sanctuary put you out in bunny form on the pyramid. That is a very interesting spot to end up, as we're going to get a pyramid check right away.
Not every day that you get a sub 1 minute pyramid check.
Yeah, sub 30 seconds in this case. Piece of heart. He is going to go pick that up, it looks like.
When you're getting pooped out into the dark world like this early, I would.
No kidding. We are getting the, it looks like we are trying to get a play on, nope, he's not going to be able to do the Houlihan here. And Haiku Type is about to find the quick access to the Dark World through the Sanctuary. We have located Misery Mire already. 1 minute 5 seconds. We have found Misery Mire, just south of the Palace of Darkness area. And we get to hear the bunny music today. And we found a shop somewhere in the Palace of Darkness area. Haiku Type also picks up the piece of heart. And he doesn't hang around that Dark World area at all. He doesn't want to be there right now. He's going to do whatever he can in the Light World. We found Sick Kid. He is in the area where you warp to the Palace of Darkness. I think that's Warp Whistle point number 5, if I'm not mistaken. And Chex Human did go back to Link's house, so both players are in the same general area right now. They are diverging on their paths. Chex Human is attempting to see what Hyrule Castle is, carrying that sign for good measure. Haiku Type is heading towards he's farming for a bomb right now, and I think he's heading towards Kakariko Village. The tree pole appears to have arrows on it today. And we have Ice Rod Cave, so that is an item check right there. Ice Rod Cave simply has 20 bucks. And we have found the well, and the bow is located in the bottom of the well. That is a great find for Chex Human. And the sword is also in the back of the well. I didn't see where that location was as I was watching Haiku Type. But we are also finding Quake down there. We are finding some arrows. And Haiku Type has found some bombs. And that was in the library where the bombs were located. Or what the library entrance, I should say, not the actual library. Going into Hyrule Castle, main door, we are in... Very interesting. That is... Well, I'm not sure offhand what exact room that is, but we found the powder back there. That's also a great pickup, as now you can get some fairies once you have the bug catching net, or just get them for free health refills wherever you want them. It looks like we have found the Myers shed here, which contains the boots and a lot of extra money, spending money, 300 rupees. We found the back of the tavern, where the back of the tavern always is, because it is the only entrance of that type. You will never be able to have a different entrance in that location. The back of the tavern did have a full heart container. We found one of the Dark World Village of Outcast houses. And we're now in Thieves Town as well, where Haiku Type starts with a map. And he's already found the big key. Of course, the big key has to be in one of those first 4 chests, or you can't progress in the dungeon. So he has found it. There should be a couple more items to find here. And Chex Human found the C-shaped house. Those 2 houses end up very close to each other, interestingly enough. And that one was located in the Eastern Palace area, it looks like. I'm going to assume that the other house from the Village of Upcast was in another chamber nearby there. As Haiku Type gets the small key, now we don't have the hammer yet, but that does open up does give the option of the room where the hammer would be needed for the last item. Haiku Type that takes a death warp after picking up the items in Thieves Town. And it looks like Thieves Town is located in Kakariko Village. I think that is one of the houses in Kakariko Village. We also have a red meringue. I didn't catch the red meringue, but it looks like we did have that according to chat. We're still trying to get a handle on where some of these locations are here. It's going to take a little while to explore where everything is to figure out exactly what can be done, where everyone wants in the race. There's a number of other racers here as well. 100 rupees in the cave where Spectacle Rock is normally the cave that's normally inside Spectacle Rock. And Chex Human walking past the Grove area, heading towards Kakariko Village himself. He's going to find some of those same locations that Haiku Type just found. Haiku Type, I believe, is getting close to finishing up his tour of Kakariko as Chex Human goes to Ice Rod Cave. I believe there were 20 rupees at the back of that. Looks like Turtle Rock and Palace of Darkness are the requirements for the Big Bomb. Turtle Rock is one of the 5-6 crystals. Palace of Darkness is the other one.
And I am back. I am so sorry. I was having a little bit of Flash shenanigans.
Yeah, sometimes the Flash doesn't want to work with the browser very well. We understand things like that do happen.
Thank you very much, and thank you for chat for hopefully bearing with me.
We did find Misery Mire at one point while you were away, and did you see any of the other locations that we found while we were there as well?
Unfortunately not. I'm so sorry.
No
did
worries.
Miss that, but I do see we have silvers, and the is fabulous. Hopefully, it'll keep us safe in the dark world when we get eventually dumped out into there a bunch of times over.
The sword and the bow were actually found in the bottom of the well, and that was located. I forget exactly where that was located. I'm already getting my locations mixed up. That's how crazy this type of seed is. As Haiku Type finds Mini Moldorm Cave, so once he clears that out, that's another 5 items that we're going to have access to.
Chex Human is going over to check the House of Mouse. Don't know if we've seen that yet, but be interesting. Ah, the Smith. Nice to know that he's still close to home.
And something else that we found out while you were having the issues there, and I don't know if you heard this as you came back, Palace of Darkness and Turtle Rock are the 5-6 crystals today. Now, because of the entrance shuffle, they can be anywhere. They're not their normal locations, obviously. As Chex Human gets his boots from the that was called the Mire Shed. But those 2 dungeons, wherever they are, once they're found and cleared, that gives access to the Big Bomb. Of course, we don't know where the Pyramid Fairy is located yet.
So the Big Bomb could actually be required, and nice fire rod.
Yes.
The Big Bomb could potentially open up even something like Ganon's Tower.
And Chex Human gets his visit into Thieves Town, so he's got his map from the first chest. I know the big key was the second chest, and the key was the final chest. I remember those 2 off the top of my head.
I see that we're getting some real nice value over in Paradox Cave.
If by value you mean rupees and hearts, yes, it looks like a lot of that.
Well, in the Fire Rod, Cane of Samaria.
Of course. Oh, I missed the King of Samario. That's a good catch there. King of Samaria and Hammer are both really great items. They're both required items to get through, normally to get into Turtle Rock, but also for the case Mario to get through Turtle Rock.
Yeah, come on, Cyclone. It's if there's one thing we know about Rando, it's gotta be Kane.
It's gotta be Kane.
Just has to be.
Jacksuma takes a death. I did not catch if that was a death warp or if that was an accidental one. I'm thinking because he was in Thieves' Town, it probably was intentional. As he leaves.
Yeah, yeah. With only 4 hearts, those crickets will make short work of him.
And not just the crickets, but Blind can do. Even though Blind is a scripted fight, 1 or 2 bad moves and Blind will get you down. You're off script next time you face them.
That is one fight that can go very wrong very quickly, especially on low health.
Indeed.
So I do not blame him whatsoever.
Now checking the actual Mire Shed location, we found a cave with spikes in it. I don't think this is a cave we normally see, so there's no items in here. We won't be back here today. And this is a cave that we normally do not see. And today that cave is the back of Turtle Rock, the first part of Turtle Rock.
Good to know. Having the Cane of Samaria, once we get the Moon Pearl, that'll... Oh no, well that's the other side. That won't get us to Laser Bridge, where all those chests are.
Correct, that is the backside of the first
easy
half.
place to get to, so once you're ready for it.
And it will give about, I think about 4, maybe 5 items in there, 4 or 5 items. He's going to try, nope, he can't lift the pots. He just found that out.
Checks human.
I think he's actually... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Hypertype was actually taking advantage of a small bug within Link to the Past, where if you die within a level, and I just learned this today watching Another Seed, if you die within any level in the Dark World, you actually return to the level when you continue as your normal sprite. So as you see, he entered as a bunny, he took a death, and he's back, and he's now Link.
Good strat, definitely.
So now he can do Turtle Rock.
And does this break the logic, however?
I would say that it does break the logic because obviously you're not supposed to be here yet. He's taking advantage of a bug to be here. So this would most definitely be a bit of a sequence break until we can find the Moon Pearl.
It's one thing to keep up with entrance randomizer, but to try and keep up with sequence breaks as well. I hope Haiku Type knows what he's doing.
It definitely is a very interesting strategy. I was actually watching an inverted seed earlier today, and I saw someone using it there, and I thought it was just something that happened in the light world, but then I learned, no, it happens in all dungeons. So it's actually very interesting to see that as Haiku comes up through a locked door the other way. A little bit hilarious.
Yeah, just phasing through solid wood. Nothing wrong with that.
And he cannot get through the locked door to the south of him, so he is going to have to leave. He can't get those 3 chests down there. My guess is there are a couple of keys down there, and he's going to have to find the other half of Turtle Rock later. Checking one of the Bonk Rock locations.
Looks like Chex Human's found himself in the Dark World. Not quite sure where he is, so he's bailing.
Haiku found himself a fortune teller. Doesn't want to talk to that person today. Rarely do our runners ever want to talk to the fortune teller.
Good for a clutch heart refill, but not so much when you just want to get out there and get your hands dirty and try and grab up as many items as you can.
Chex Human is getting his mini Moldorm cave out of the way. And Haiku is dropping into the hole near Hyrule Castle, and that's where the well was located. I did miss that location earlier. There's the bow,
immediately,
and we are going to have a sword back here. And there's where the silver arrows were located, and right next to Quake and another bundle of regular arrows.
Pretty convenient finding the silvers and bow in the same location.
That is very convenient. Seems a little generous, if you ask me.
Maybe a little too generous.
And now Chex Human is finding his 7-item cave, where you mentioned the hammer and the Obviously, we just found the Fire Rod, and I think you said the KSMari was here as well. So we haven't found a lot of dungeons so far. Just the one half of Turtle Rock that's not very easy. You can't get through very much of it, even with the sequence break. And we found Misery Mire, but again, we can't do much about that now because we need certain. Well, now they have the KSMari and the boots. They probably could get through there a little bit, but they would have to again do it as a sequence break. What is your opinion of sequence breaking in an entrance shuffle seed like this?
Oh, well, me personally, I will not. But again, that's just because trying to keep up with you know, where your sequence breaks are leading you, as well as just straight up where you're supposed to go. Trying to remember where you've been and what is where you've been. You gotta have a lot of internal RAM in the old noggin.
Yes, and sometimes you could run into a disk space error when that's said and done, so to speak. I think in an entrance shuffle seed, it's really, really risky because if you do a sequence break, you pick up, let's say, the flute somewhere, and you're not supposed to have the flute yet because you didn't get the item to go in here. You might accidentally add a lot of locations where that missing item that you need cannot be to your search, and you could be wasting a lot of time looking around for this other needed item that you couldn't find in any of those locations you were checking because you went there early.
Yes, a classic folly of sequence breaking is over cashing in on your sequence broken items and getting nothing for it.
And Checksuman has now found found Blind's Hut, we should say. And I don't think we've seen this yet, so let's see what's in here today. We have Swirly, we have the bombs. Oh, 2 medallions, Ether, and the Master Sword. That's the second sword for Checksuman.
Hey, Blind. What a guy. He's an alright guy. Sometimes he helps us out.
And just a few arrows in the back, so nothing useful there.
Just want to point out, Haiku type, that was a really good setup that I didn't know about for achieving fake flippers at that particular location. Bonking off of one of those standing statues.
And it looks like
we have Laser Bridge.
Oh, nice, Laser Bridge. And that was in the Light World, wasn't it?
Indeed. That's at the Witch's Hut.
Oh, that's a very interesting spot for Laser Bridge.
Oh, we see the Tempered Sword is on the Desert Ledge.
Oh my.
Who knows how we're gonna get that? Desert is such a tricky dungeon to get into, or even just clear in regular randomizer. So, an entrance, forget about it. To
be fair, in the desert, because you can whistle to the Misery Mire Rock and get to the Dark World from there, you are able to wander around to the Misery Mire area, and you would be. And plus, we found another way into Misery Mire already, so you can just get to the Desert Ledge by using the mirror once you have the mirror. Right now, you don't have that, or neither of our runners has that. So the mirror would allow you to get access to that later on.
That's completely true. I have no idea why I didn't consider the mirror.
No worries. So now it looks like Haiku-type is going to explore as much of Turtle Rock as he can here, at least this back side of it. There are a couple more potential items in here. No lantern, so he is going to be doing this room blind. Doing it backwards is a little bit more of a challenge because you're used to doing it the other way. But it looks like he had no problem doing that. He's very familiar with this room, it looks like.
Nicely done. Very nicely done indeed.
Found another key back there. And takes a Death Warp. As Checksuman finds a group of fairies and says, no thank you, he's almost full health as it is.
But being that is the entrance to Turtle Rock, or one of them, right here, good to know that there's a safety room right close by.
Both entrances to Turtle Rock are here. He just found the other half of it, I think. And he's using those keys. This is something that Haiku-type did not have. He didn't have the keys when he found this location. Because Check's human... Or wait, I'm looking at the other way around. Was it Haiku type that found the keys in Turtle Rock?
Yes, it was.
Oh, I got it mixed up. My mistake.
That's cool. Cashing in the powder at Magic Bat.
And the powder will get us the mirror!
Hey, let's go get that sword. I gotta say, pretty jealous of these guys. Whenever I play Entrance Randomizer, I normally don't get nearly enough equipment to keep me safe.
As Check's human gets his swag net. Actually, I think it was Haiku type that was in Troll Rock before in this section, because Check's... I know he picked up the swag net as well. So Check's human is about to come up and find his useless item in Chain Chomp Room and not be able to go south himself. We will have to find that third door to get the 3 items at the front of Turtle Rock, if anything important is there. Being very careful with the chain jumps.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That might be a one-hit death where Check's human's at in health. Nope.
Well, he's going to take it now anyway, because he did get the map out of there, so he doesn't need to stay there. And normally this is where the Lumberjack Ledge would be. Today, it is the back of Hyrule Castle, the downstairs pit area of Hyrule Castle, where we're going to find our dead uncle, who gives us a piece of heart. Last of his heart.
I don't think he'll need it anymore.
Not really. And there's a full heart in the chest.
I guess that's what he was after then.
Maybe he wants an extra life.
Didn't quite make it.
Yeah, the guard said no, thank you. Oh, I missed the map check. We had a map check on Check's human side. I think I did see 2 crystals there.
It was a bit of
I didn't see which ones. Haiku type is in the Lost Woods right now. According to chat, it is Eastern Palace was the green pendant, which is interesting. And Desert Palace and Tower Hare were both crystals, which is what I thought I saw as well. So thank you for confirming that, chat.
And Check's human has found desert. I don't know if Haiku type found desert yet, but...
We found the mushroom. We don't know where the witch's hut yet, but that could be in play.
Certainly not where it usually is.
And Big Key for Desert was on the torch, so it is clear that the boots were indeed required in today's seed.
Always assuring having the boots going into desert beforehand.
And now as Haiku type goes into the witch's hut himself, and he finds Desert Palace, the same area that Check's human is right now. Not the witch's hut, the fortune teller's hut. So both runners are going through the same dungeon, through the same entrance right now. So we're going to keep our eye on Check's human, who is in the lead in this travel, as he finds a key. Haiku type is going for the big chest. I don't know if Check's human opened this, but their compass is in the big chest. And Check's human found a map.
Yeah, not giving us much so far, but maybe this cannonball room will.
That's something. That is something. Those flippers
that's
will,
a heck of a something.
Yeah, that opens up the Swamp Palace play. Now, we don't know where Swamp Palace is yet, but I want to point this out now that we do have the flippers. Once they do find the dam, and once they do unlock the dam and entrance shuffle, I believe it does stay permanently unlocked. So once you walk into Swamp Palace, wherever it is, the water's going to be there. But you have to go visit the dam before the water will be there.
That is correct. You do have to pull the lever and drain it all. But Swamp Palace will stay permanently flooded, at least at the entrance.
And the Haiku type gets his flippers out of there. And I don't think we know where the back half of Desert Palace is yet, as Check's human walks around, goes to Hype Cave, and is in buddy form and cannot bomb the wall. So we're going to have to remember that Hype Cave is here on Dark Death Mountain later.
Yeah, Desert Palace is one of those. It's sort of like almost like a train station. Chex Human was really hugging that statue. Oh, he's setting up the that glitch you were talking about earlier. That
Yeah, exactly. And
turns you
Haiku type, he was. And Haiku type goes and gets his piece of heart from Hype Cave, which gives him a full health refill. He may not like that if he wants to do the same Death Warp. He has the mirror, so he can just mirror out. And he's going to check a couple caves here.
It's a good play. It's a very entrance-heavy area.
Ooh, this is dark.
Yeah. Now, I think Haiku type was trying to listen out for a audio cue. You can hear the bats flapping around if it happens to be the old man cave.
I don't know if you just saw what I saw, but both entrances to Desert Palace are in the exact same cave in opposite worlds. What are the chances?
I was trying to say that Desert Palace is almost like a train station, in that it can take you so many places because of all the different entrances that are on it. There are three entrances, and plus the back half where Moldorm is, or sorry, Landmo. But you know what? It's forget it.
It worked out. They're gonna get to see the front half, and now they're gonna go fight Lambola. So Desert Palace is gonna be 100% clear. They don't have to visit here again. That's a very nice first crystal for Haiku type. Chex Human cannot check that yet because he does not have that mirror from the bat.
Nice one select from Haiku type. Now
very nice fight. Power glove.
Gloves. How about that? That's something you'll never see in standard rando.
And Chex Human checking the normal Lumberjack Legendary, which we noted is the back of the basement of Hyrule Castle under the bush. He will get his 1 1/4 pieces of heart here.
Now I wonder if Haiku type is going to put that mirror to use, go to Misery Mire, warp to the ledges, and use the glove to open up the 2 locations that are in the desert light world, being what's usually Landmo and Checkboard Cave.
That's a very interesting question. We will see what he chooses to do here. As he's clearing out all the caves on Death Mountain first, I like the play of clearing out all these caves first, make sure there's nothing else important here, like another dungeon or another important item, before going to anywhere else. I think he was here already. He found the dark room, and now I think he's trying to make his way through it. I think this is the old man cave, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, he found a different entrance. I made a mistake. Well, maybe it is. It's hard to tell in this mode, to be honest with you. But it looks like he could be moving in a way that it could be. And yeah, I think sure enough, what?
Oh, sorry. Okay. That's fine. Oh, nice mirroring. Well then.
That was interesting. Oh, we found Swamp Palace. Now we just need the dam. That's a very convoluted path to the entrance to Swamp Palace.
Yeah, how about that? But, and it's entirely in logic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I don't think Haiku type has done any kind of sequence break, unless that I am aware of. Except for trying to do Turtle Rock and finding nothing of value, so there's no real sequence break in play here.
Now Haiku type is doing the south route over Lake Hylia.
He's going to go to the actual mini Moldorm Cave, and I don't think we've seen this yet. Let's see what's in here. The Witch's Shop. Well, there's where to get the mushroom item. Now just to get to the part of the world where you drop the mushroom in the pot. And we're going to go to the normal Ice Rod Cave area. And I think Chex Human was up here. He did check both of these entrances earlier. And there's another entrance there. I don't think Chex Human was able to lift that rock earlier. So that's a spot that he has not checked. If there's something there, this could be an important play. Or maybe not.
That's that's one of those rarely gone to spots. I can't remember if that has any other multiple entrances.
I think that I might be mistaken because I don't know the maps we normally don't see. I think that's a storyteller. Oh, it's going downstairs, whatever it is. Maybe it's not a storyteller. It does have another entrance, and this entrance takes us out near the desert.
Indeed.
There's another entrance down here. And it's dark.
Yeah, that's quite a thing about entrance randomizers. Those gloves actually do open up quite a few locations. Being that doors are just as important as chests.
Another important location it does open up is actually and again, being a drop, it is a potential Ganon spot as well, so you want to be cautious about these until you have nothing else to check in the areas. But there is that spot where you normally get to the back of Hyrule Castle, where 3 items are located. That is another of those lift spots, I believe.
Haiku type finding the old man. Not paying off, but it is good to know that we've unlocked the Death Mountain save and quit. Oh, and finding the house.
We found the bomb spawning shack.
So if Haiku type saves and quits, he might not know where it's gonna dump him out.
Chex even found the front of Turtle Rock. Chex is in the front of Turtle Rock.
Good find.
I did not catch where that was. Hopefully Jack can help us with that. Haiku type has found Aghanim's Tower. Very rare in Entrance Shuffle we find Aghanim required seed. Not a lot of scenarios where you would actually have to do that with entrances shuffled around. But there are some convoluted paths where it could be required to get to the pyramid.
Unfortunately, Check's even having to take the long way around the scenic route on that around those lanterns, not having the hook shot.
Chex is being very careful with these rolling spike things here. As Haiku type does a Dark World map check, and I do see, as we noted earlier, Palace of Darkness and Turtle Rock are the 5-6 crystals. We knew that already from the Bomb Shack. I didn't catch which one was the pendant. We found a bottle of blue glue on Spectral Rock.
That would be Ice Palace is our last pendant.
Ice Palace, thank you. Haiku type wants that item. Nope, he can't get it yet, apparently. Big Key was in the area Chex Human was in.
Chex Human is now bunnied in some uncharted territory of the Dark World.
This is normally where the Bomb Shack is, and it looks like... this is the area coming down from the Lost Woods well, if I'm not mistaken.
Spectacle Rock, I believe?
Oh, maybe it is Spectral Rock. I'm getting it mixed up again.
Not to correct you or anything.
Understood. Feel free. I am sure we're going to make more mistakes than we've made already in this seed, because these kinds of seeds do scramble with your mind, and there's a lot of locations you have to try to remember. Is there something here? Is there something I need to do here? And is there a connecting path I need to go through here? So there's definitely a lot more information to remember in this kind of seed.
Chex Human found one of the doors that leads to Super Bunny. I'm pretty sure in Swamp Palace entrance.
Chex Human found the dam area. It looks like I didn't see where he. I think he came around to that normally. I don't think he came out of an entrance to get there.
I think he's setting up a Super Bunny glitch, actually.
Haiku type, meanwhile, did find the front half of Turtle Rock as well, so he's now going through to get his items from there.
And meanwhile, Chex Human finding the words in the Super Bunny Cave, actually managing to make it the Super Bunny Cave. I believe he was using the same glitch that some folks use to set up for the Meyer shed Super Bunny.
Type took a bit of a gamble there after lighting the torches, went and grabbed a couple pots. He did get through with enough time, fortunately. And that's where the single error was located as well. And he checked the big chest after mirroring back and found just another key in there, which will be needed to get to Trinex later.
So I'll tell you what, Cyclone, a question on my mind right now, where the heck is the Moon Girl?
I'm starting to wonder that myself. I think we're running out of locations to check here, if I'm not mistaken. I imagine, I know that we had access to Misery Mire earlier, but I'm trying to remember if that entrance in the Dark World, it can't be a sequence break, because it wouldn't be in there if you're not supposed to be able to do that. No, Pyramid Ledge was actually checked in about 30 seconds, and it was not very much, nothing useful. I think it was a piece of heart, if I'm not mistaken. Chuckseaman has found Hyrule Castle here. That could be our Moon Pearl. I don't think we've seen this yet.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And of course, it's easy enough with the sword to tippity-tap your way through and check the sewers.
Chuckseaman mirrored out after getting the key and didn't go south to go down to where Zelda is normally held. I wonder if he's going back to check the back room before doing that.
Yeah, bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out. And we've got Pod over on Haiku Type's side.
Now, because we don't have the lantern yet, Chuckseaman is doing this in the dark, so he must be confident with his darkroom navigation to be able to do this. We may not even see which item he picks up from that chest, assuming he gets to it. He did kill a lot of rats down there, though, or snakes.
Yeah, he's dashing away through the darkness.
I like that he lit the torch to take a look at what the item was in case it was not an important item, and we got to see that the map was down there.
Yeah, that was a good move indeed. Some good peace of mind where you can get it.
And Haiku Type's in Palace of Darkness. And he is picking up a key there. I don't know if he picked up any more keys yet, as I just noticed that he was in there. We are going to get to see the 3 items in the back of the Hyrule basement. And those 3 items today are bombs, 20 rupees, and a key.
Yeah, so it looks like it turned out that Hyrule Castle was basement loaded.
And there are 2 chests still down there today.
Another thing about Hyrule Castle is there are several doors as well, so maybe he'll be checking those too.
Haiku Type is taking advantage of the opportunity to explore Palace of Darkness in the fullest. There are, in addition to 6 keys, there are a lot of items in here. There's many items to pick up, so we're going to see what we find upstairs through this stairway. As a bottle with a B shows up on Chuckseaman's site, Haiku Type finds some arrows. Chuckseaman is continuing on through this to the area where Zelda's cell is located. We'll get the big key from the guard to open that up. That big key never gets randomized; it's always there. Haiku Type is open. I apologize. Haiku Type is opening up that bomb hole where the big chest is to save time later. And he finds $20 in the 4 armored turtle room. Now going through the harmless hallway, lights the torch with a fire rod, so we're going to get to see these items too. We have a key. And another key.
That's a lot of keys.
There are 6 keys in Palace of Darkness, so there will definitely be a lot of keys. Heart piece.
And what a frustrating pod indeed when you don't find anything at all. It takes such a long time to clear, but you gotta do it.
Well, we're going to the dark room right now, and I don't recall if there's a torch in the layout, if there's a torch in this room or not that can be lit, so we may not get to see these items.
There are no torches. I have looked many, many times.
And he checked to see what that item was. Didn't catch any change there.
I think it was a blue rupee, but I might be entirely mistaken.
And he's carefully finding his way to the other chest, trying to avoid any damage, which I think the enemies might be gone. I don't see fire anymore. That's a blue rupee. So we see the blue rupee. And we have a map.
I think Chex Human is checking OG Aga Tower.
And that is the cave, or that's the cave south of Haunted Grove, it looks like.
What do they call that? Cave 45. Cave 43. Cave 45, yeah.
45.
45. Oh, and he finds the back Skullwoods on the right side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Hyrule Castle is a good place to try and get to an entrance randomizer. Lots of doors.
Yes, any area with a lot of doors. Hyrule Castle, obviously the Death Mountain area, Kakariko Village, even Village of Outcasts. They're all a lot of entrances and all great locations for trying to find some things to do.
And Chex Human, not not going to kill Mothula. Not sure why. Maybe he's gonna go right back.
He does have enough to do the fight, I would think. Maybe I don't know if he's just not confident in his equipment, as he just has a green tunic right now. So maybe he's just not confident in the fight. But 8 hearts and tempered sword and a hammer is definitely enough to do the fight with.
Those mother brain-esque rings that Mothula shoots out, though, I believe those do 2 full hearts on green tunic.
Yeah, it may very well be a case where he's not confident with the fight and just made a mental note to come back later once he's better armed. We are going to Misery Mire now, but again, he is in bunny form. I have a feeling he's going to try to take a Death Warp here to activate the glitch to turn back into his normal self. Of course, this is a sequence break, so anything found here will be out of sequence.
It's a shame that he has to get rid of that free fairy as well.
Yeah, no kidding.
Meanwhile, Haiku Type is taking down Helmasaur King quite swiftly. He did
One
go
silver
through
arrow.
rooms.
One silver arrow will make it easy.
That's all it takes.
And we get a useless circle with magnetic powers as he gets his second crystal.
It is one of the 5-6 crystals. I'm not sure which one. Doesn't really matter. But if there is anything behind the voluptuous fairy's bombable wall, once we do get Skullwoods, which is in logic, that will be out of order.
Of course, what's interesting is we can get the items from the actual fairy location, wherever that entrance is right now. So it's just whatever entrance is located behind the bombable wall. It could very well be another dungeon. It could be a place like, what have we not seen? Ice Palace. It could be the front half of Skullwoods. It could be Tower of Hera, for all we know. It could be another dungeon back there, and it could be necessary to clear both dungeons just to get into that location. It could even be Gan's Tower. We haven't seen Gan's Tower yet today.
Yeah, that is something that can be quite jarring to find immediately, because it's a dense location for items, but it's really scary.
23 items in Gan's Tower. One of them is a big key, and several of them are irregular keys. And this does not count upstairs.
Whoa, hey, we're not to that point yet.
Yeah, I'm not trying to trigger any kind of activity here. No worries about that. But just saying there are a lot of items there, as you said, so there could be some progression locating Gan's Tower. Archetype is going to get his 2 medallions from this cave, using another glitch with the mirror to make those blocks completely vanish. And both of our runners now have the Bacon Blade.
Yeah, I know that you said Bacon Blade, but your audio cut out at just the right time that it sounded like you said the Beyblade.
Bacon Blade, yes. And of course, the reason I like to call it the Bacon Blade, and I know it's a meme to call it the Bacon Blade because it's nice and dark and red and orange, but that's also the sword that the logic requires you to have to defeat Ganon. So you should be able, on the path to Ganon, to find all 3 swords. The gold sword is not considered required, but because the 3rd level sword is enough to beat Ganon, I still like to call it the Bacon Blade just for that reason. As we're now getting to the light world side of Ice Palace entrance, and it's just a fairy.
Yeah,
we are going to get...
Go ahead.
I apologize. Go ahead.
I'm memeing. Don't worry. Go ahead.
While Hypertype is getting to the old man location, I think Chex Human might have checked that and I missed what it was, so we're going to get to see what it is right now here. And it's just another 20 rupees to add to the stash.
20.
Chex Human is going to make the Zora play. I actually think Hypertype will not be too far behind him in this case. There is another entrance up here too that can be checked in the waterfall.
Yeah, I think we might have seen... I think we might have seen the waterfall, but I know we haven't seen Zora themselves.
It looks like it is Spiral Cave, and because there is a drop-down hole there, he's going to go do Zora first, and I believe he's going to wrap around through the item here, which, let's see what this item is. That looked like a heart piece. I don't know if I saw that correctly.
I think it was Blams, actually.
It was what?
Bombs, sorry.
Bombs, okay, bombs, got it.
Blams.
But I feel like he's going to wrap around through that, and after he gets the Zora item, and then he's going to do the trip through the Spiral Cave.
Yeah, I believe that's the correct move to make, because obviously you can't get back up Spiral Cave.
Correct, and Haiku Type looks like he's going to do the same thing. He just noticed Spiral Cave, and he left right away as well. You are right, it was bombs.
So, not only will we be getting a check out of Spiral Cave, but let's see where it'll poop us out.
We just have a piece of heart, and as you said, let's see where this cave throws us here. And this cave is putting us out in the area where you normally access the back half of Turtle Rock. He immediately mirrors. He now has the mirror. I didn't catch him picking that up from the bat. And I guess he didn't like that location. He's going to go back and check this cave first.
Yeah, I might check that left door quickly, too.
Correct.
Just get it out of your head.
Haiku Type is now following behind the Spiral Cave. They do have the boots, so this is going to be a very quick trip through here today. Ooh, we found Bumper Cave. Back half of Bumper Cave. That could be a very interesting location, the back of Bumper Cave, because if you don't have the cape to get through there, that could be something you have to go through later.
Yeah, and because we haven't got the Moon Pearl, we haven't seen any of the Village of Outcasts.
Haiku type. Well, we did see the 2 houses from Village of Outcasts, but we didn't see the locations of Village of Outcasts. No, Haiku type looks like he's contemplating why he ended up here, as he seems to have paused for a little while.
Yeah, I think we've reached existential crisis mode for Haiku type.
And I think we found another entrance to Desert Palace here. Look at this.
All on the right side of Death Mountain. So Chaxium will be getting his power gloves from Lanmo here in a second.
Chaxium has found, meanwhile, the back half of the desert himself, and he is going to go fight Land Molos. He will get his first crystal in this seed at 51, probably about 52 minutes by then. And Haiku type is now returning to Thieves Town. He's going to now do the back half of Thieves Town, it looks like. As Chaxium causes the worms to explode, gets his power glove, which should make him very happy, I'm sure, since he didn't have any lifting power yet, and has his first crystal.
Yeah, that opens up a whole new world of locations for him to check.
And Haiku type is now heading upstairs in Thieves Town to open the window of sunlight for the blind fight.
Yep. Chat's thinking that we might find the moon pearl in here. I tend to agree.
I think Chad is right.
This place has been open to us nearly from the very beginning. Maybe from the very beginning. I'm not sure. I was having some dumb troubles, but never mind that. Yeah.
I'm going to call it right now. I think it's in the Maiden's chest.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it's somewhere in here, for sure. One of these chests. And if it is in here, I think both of our runners might be feeling behind on that.
Yeah, there might be a bit of a facepalm once they find if they do find the moon pearl here. I should say if, I shouldn't say when, because we don't know that yet. They do have the hammer, so that does open up the hammer chest over here as well. If that is the moon pearl, that is dirty. Nope, just a compass. And just a piece of heart with for Haiku type right now. I think Haiku type has a bit of a quick menu there today, I noticed.
I believe I think quick swap is enabled, if I'm not mistaken.
Excellent, I wasn't aware of that.
And Haiku type will be getting our first pendant.
Now, of course, we don't know what's on the pedestal yet. We're not going to raise any pedestal hype yet because we do not have the book either. But it is possible that could also be in play.
We do have the book, but it might be a while before somebody tries to get there because no moon pearl, no mirror with Skullwood's check.
I did not see where Chaxium picked up that book at any point.
In Super Bunny Cave, actually,
Okay.
Yeah, he set up he actually set up a Super Bunny glitch to get in there, even.
So technically, that's out of logic then as well. I don't think the logic considers Super Bunny Cave if it's done in bunny form. I think that was the ice rod. Am I reading that right?
Okay. Moon Pearl on Trinox?
That would be evil. But it is possible. It is possible.
I give up. I don't, where is this moon pearl? It's
given that we just
killing me.
Given that we just got the ice rod, it could be on Trinex. You are absolutely right. That
I
would
really
be
hope it is.
cruel. That would be cruel. We are getting a check of the Agina location. Of course, Agina is not here. We are finding instead the back end of Hookshot Cave. And I'm trying to see if... Nope, Hypertype has not checked any of Hookshot Cave yet, it looks like.
Chex Human is taking his book to the tablet.
And praying to the gods and destroying a bat will give you today an upgraded defensive piece of equipment.
Yeah, nothing to be upset about, but not particularly helpful.
Hypertype, meanwhile, picks up the gold sword from the desert ledge.
I must have missed a sword.
And one of the desert entrances takes you into... Oh, wow, that's the top of Bumper Cave. Back into bunny form.
Oh my gosh. Can we... Is it possible? Yo, you can't get to the... You can't actually get to that, ledge, because of bushes and rocks and whatnot. But he is checking, Landmo's entrance.
We found Spike Cave.
Nothing to help us actually get through it, though. Although we do have a bottle, so that does put it in logic, I think.
Yeah, if they want... Well, I think we're going to get a look at the checkerboard cave entrance location here. But yes, they could theoretically check Spike Cave if they want to, if they use their bottles to stock up on some goo. But that's a very low number of hearts, and that is a very risky play to make with that. Not sure that's enough hearts to get through for some players. And here's the checkerboard cave location. And inside checkerboard cave today, we find a fairy.
If I were either of these runners, I mean, it would be a bit tricky without the lamp. Without the lamp, it doesn't actually put Trinex in logic. So as soon as I got the lamp, and if I still didn't have the Moon Pearl, I would rush Trinex.
Yeah,
just out of spite, mostly.
It is true that the lamp is still needed to put it into play, but at the same time, it does bring a very good question of where that lamp would be, and of course where the Moon Pearl would be. If that lamp shows up, Trinex... Oh, they found Tower Hera.
Oh, the TOH.
Now, would it not be really interesting to have a vanilla Moon Pearl?
Vanilla? I don't know. Maybe a vanilla with way too many sprinkles.
Or a cherry on top. He's making the early basement play here. He's not going to climb yet until he sees what's in this basement, looks like. And at about an hour in to see it, I don't blame him for wanting a coffee break, as Chex Human climbs Death Mountain.
Yeah, I would just set myself up on those switch pegs and stretch my leggies a bit after all of the stress that this seat is putting us through.
Well, he has seen the bottle of goo on Spectral Rock, and he did not follow the path to warp over to it and grab it, so I guess he doesn't need the goo right now. As we are getting close to an hour into the sea, I just want to remind you, follow these runners. They are doing a good job putting on a show for us here today, and they definitely deserve any support that they can get, so definitely go follow these guys.
Also, a big shout out to our tracker today, Dimensive. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for putting in the hard work.
Yes, we need our tracker to help us do the job here. And here's where the basement play gets the big key. That was the reason for the basement play, needless to say. And he is now going to go upstairs and go find a worm. And Chex Human is going to pray to the gods for a piece of heart. So both tablets have been checked. Both tablets rather pointless today.
Being that they were sequence breaked after all doesn't surprise me.
And being that I did miss the actual location earlier, but it looks like the actual Tower of Terror entrance is the back half of Turtle Rock leading to Trinex. Now that is something that you would normally see in a simple entrance shuffle. It's just coincidental that it happened here as well. That it can happen in any mode. Simple entrance shuffle, dungeon entrance always lead to dungeon locations. This is, of course, completely mixed up, and anything can be anywhere. Haiku type takes the fall into one of the holes there by accident, so he's going to have to head back up. And Chuck's-Human has found his way into Palace of Darkness. I don't remember there being much in here of worth, so let's see how he handles Palace of Darkness today. As Haiku type comes up on the Moldorm fight.
Could you imagine land Moldorm?
And this is our first look at the Moldorm item, and this will be the third crystal for Haiku type as he does take out Moldorm. $50 off the taken Moldorm's treasure bundle with him, it looks like.
Just a fitty.
And we are still at 1 hour and 1 minute and 30 seconds, still looking for the Moon Pearl today. It's getting more and more likely at this point that it could be on Trinex, but as we run out of locations, it becomes less likely because, as you said, we do need the lamp to put that. Actually, you know what? No, we have an entrance to Laser Bridge. We don't need the lamp, I don't think.
Was that not a sequence broken way to get in, setting up that body swapping glitch?
It might be. I'm trying to remember what world that was in. Oh my goodness! The Moon Pearl was in the library, the actual library. And that location is, let's see, right now, where you normally get to Death Mountain. That is where that was located. The Moon Pearl has been located. We can now do anything in any location.
Oh, thank the goddess Hylia. Now let's get out there and smash up some dungeons and more Dark World Overworld locations.
And the nice thing is they don't have to do any more death warps just to clear locations that will have no immediate merit. They can now just go right in and go right to work.
Which Haiku type is doing.
We're getting a quick look at some locations as we get to the treasure game, and we get nothing of value there. We're going to get to the graveyard ledge here. And inside the graveyard ledge location, we have found another fairy. Well, we don't normally see this many fairies as you wander around, but it's because those entrances usually get skipped, obviously. And we're going to get inside the tomb here. And that's just another shop. I don't think...
Yeah, my goodness, just a plethora of locations have opened up to our runners now that they have the Moon Pearl, or at least Haiku type does.
I'm trying to get another look at what the item inside the Dark Maze here in Palace of Darkness is. I don't know what it was from before because we didn't see it before. Chuck's-Human also cannot see it. It looks like he stopped and picked it up, but I didn't see anything actually trigger on the display, so I'm not sure still what it is.
Yeah, no pull icon.
And that reminds me, we still haven't found the lamp. Now, again, these runners don't necessarily need the lamp, but it is nonetheless a nice thing to have when you're in a place where you don't know what everything is.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, the chicken hut.
And hey.
And Haiku type does not go for the chicken clip today. And inside that chest is a piece of heart. Yeah,
these runners are more than confident without the lamp. but it's all about the logic.
Yes, and finding that lamp will help line the logic up to where you need to go. Without that lamp, it's hard to know if what you're doing is should be done at that point or not. Looks like we're going to look at the Skull Woods area. Now, any of these drops, actually, I'm not sure if these drops can be Ganon, but typically any drop in the overworld could potentially lead to Ganon and force a reset because of the, you can't kill him at this point.
Yeah, it's always funny when you prematurely just fall down the hole and are greeted with the big pig himself.
And his words of wisdom of the day. Frank, I could go for some cheese facts right now.
What kind of burrito do you think you would be, Cyclone?
What kind of burrito do you think I would be?
Yeah, I mean, Ganon would fancy himself a spicy bean burrito, I believe.
I don't even know how to answer that question. I don't have a good answer to that question, to be honest with you.
You failed me as a commentator. But we have found Eastern Palace here in the back of that was Skullwoods.
And we have another compass located in the first chest there.
Eastern is our green pendant, and having the bow, with the silvers even, might be worth knocking out.
Now, also of interest, the fact that we don't know where the wise old man is located. I don't believe we found his hut yet, if I'm not mistaken. So once we have the green pendant, that will open up another item wherever we find him later on. This is definitely worth clearing because we do have the bow and we'll have access to that item with that.
Yeah, indeed. He could be... There, especially in the Dark World, there are so many more obscure locations that you don't normally see. He could be over way to the west in Dev Cave, for all we know.
Or he could even be way over to the east in the Dark World shopping mall that people typically don't visit.
That's the direction I know what compasses are. I meant to say east.
I thought you were talking about another obscure location. Archetype is going through the dark room, so the one thing we definitely know here is that the lamp will not be on the other end of this dark room, because that would require the lamp to get through to get the lamp. And to answer your question, chat, no, I do not think we have the hook shot at all yet. So the hook shot is not in, has not been put into play yet. The flute! The flute has been located.
Indeed it has.
And I have a feeling we're going to have a visit to Catbreaker Village very soon to free everyone's favorite bird.
With the having the mirror, be super easy to just go and unlock that while you bust out Village of Outcasts.
Now, something that just came to mind here. If I'm not mistaken, having the fire rod would put the dark rooms into logic in a room where there's a torch. Is that correct?
I don't think it does, actually.
So it's just seen as a convenient way to get through, but not actually factored in. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and it is handy to have the fire rod for that particular room. If you lose track of something, you'll just get absolutely minced by those popos and Igors.
And speaking of logic, we need to remember that where the flute was found does require the lantern in the logic. So because the flute was found out of logic, we have to keep that in mind before and not look at any locations that might require flute access. It can only be accessed at this point by the flute in order to look there. But I think many of those locations have been checked just because of where we ended up earlier.
Indeed, the flute doesn't actually give us anything as far as access goes, because the only reason you would need the flute is for Misery Mire, but we can get to Misery Mire easy peasy.
Yeah, they already came out of Misery Mire and found their way in there. They just have to go back at some point. And we did already check all the Misery Mire entrances as well, except I think for the main entrance, because the main entrance needed the... Or did they actually open up the main entrance yet?
You know, I'm not sure. I don't think I have seen the main entrance open for Misery Mire yet.
And Chex Human gets his gold source. Now they're on equal fighting ability.
Of course, our fabulous tracker, Dimensive, does point out you need the Moon Pearl for that.
Very good point. Very good point.
IQ Type is making his way to Village of Outcasts. A lot of doors down there.
IQ Type has returned in Desert Palace. I wonder what he's doing back here. Is there a chest he did not open? Oh, I think he's working his way around to another entrance. That seems to be what he's doing.
Yeah, that must be it.
Chex Human is, meanwhile, going to go give us our look at Spike Cave. He does not have any kind of invincibility item, so I think he's going to be relying on that goo to get through.
The goo will get you through.
I think he's going to make
IQ Type is returning to Hype Cave.
Here comes our Hype Cave. What do we have? We have a piece of heart. We have a piece of heart. We have a single rupee. We have 20 bucks. G Wizard, rate this Hype Cave.
2 out of 10. Bad cave.
I'm just gonna give it a bleh. And I was so excited about Hype Cave, I missed what the item was in Spike Cave. Hopefully our chat can help us with that item, because I missed it.
The IQ Type is going back into Swamp, but it's not flooded.
Now, he could check the hint at the back and see if there's any kind of information back there, but he left without doing that.
I haven't seen either of our runners check a single hint yet.
I wonder if they've forgotten, or if, I assume hints are on. Where did we get to race game? We have race game available here.
You can't blink when watching this.
Yeah, I didn't see where that came out. But I wonder if Hype might have already checked race game, or at least knows that there was a useless item there, because he didn't play it at all.
Thank you, chat. No hints in entrance, which makes sense because it's weird enough.
Yeah, I was assuming that the hints were on like the other modes with the version 30, but that was that's good information. Thank you for that, chat. And we didn't stop to listen to the national anthem. Shame on us. As Hypertype frees the bird. Hypertype goes into the witch's hut, which we do know is the back of Turtle Rock. And I think he's going to go fight Trinex now. No reason not to at this point. He has 3 keys. He can get back there.
It's in logic. Maybe this will get us our lamp.
That would be a very weird item to get here.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to call Shovel. I'm going to call Shovel on Trinex. Just to be extra mean to our runners.
That would be a very interesting find, needless to say. That would be another thing that would haunt the runners. So at the same time, it is possible to get to that location very quickly from Link's house. So that would be maybe not as bad as you make it sound.
I just like the shovel because it's a silly item.
No kidding. And we still haven't had a pedestal check either.
No, we haven't. So... Nope.
Okay, that was a compass. So we obviously through all the excitement of trying to figure out where everything was, we didn't count the dungeon items. The compass had to be there because we already saw all the items in Turtle Rock. And I'm just taking a look here, and Checksuman still does not have the Moon Pearl. He needs to get to the front of what normally goes up to Death Mountain to get that Moon Pearl out of the library. And Checksuman, meanwhile, does pick up his third crystal, whereas that was the fourth, or no, still the third crystal for Haiku type as well. He also has 2 pendants. Or no, it is 4 crystals. I can't do math. Don't do math on Twitch.
At least not while watching 2 entrance rando screens. Ah, here he goes. He's getting his pearl.
Checksuman is going to say, "Really? It's here?"
Of all places. Of all places for the library to be as well.
I could have been here how many times now?
Well, to be fair, this is actually kind of an out-of-the-way location, given where all of our other entrances take us.
And there is the book, as you mentioned, in Super Bunny Cave. So that means both runners do have the ability to, well, do the ped check if they want to, but I don't think we're going to get there anytime soon, because runners have already checked that area pretty thoroughly otherwise.
To answer chat, Moth is on the right side of Hyrule Castle.
I'm just taking a quick scan of the dungeon layouts. I do see Ice Palace would be another pendant, and the other 2 pendants have been picked up by Haiku type as he checks the first of the 2 tablets. I don't think, depending on how you get through Ice Palace today, it is definitely within possibility that the hook shot could be on the pedestal.
Oh, yeah. Indeed.
Ew.
Ew. Or could just be in Ice Palace. You know, there's nothing... No feeling quite like finding hookshot in Ice Palace. It's not a good one, but it is one.
We get our Stumpy item with a quick rush in, and that's just $50.
I don't think that guy's going to be getting much business for his hostel up there. Times is hard for a man living on a cliff.
Yeah, no kidding. And it is our tracker Dimensive is mentioning in the chat that yes, we do still need to find the dam as well. I'm trying to figure out where that dam could be at this point. It could be very well again that it could be locked by the Pyramid Fairy Wall once you get the... And now it turns out because Palace of Darkness at Turtle Rock have been cleared by Haiku type, I think we have found the bomb shop, because I do remember getting that hint earlier. So where was that bomb shop located? I forget exact location.
Oh, I didn't see the bomb shop. It's all...
Well, it could be very well possible, and it is in logic for Haiku type at this point that he may need to get that bomb. I think it was him that was in there. And there's the pyramid wall right there. So if he gets to the bomb shop, he gets that bomb back here. It could be possible the dam could be in there.
That would be very interesting to see the 5-6 crystals required to progress in such a cryptic way.
Such is Entrance Shuffle. And again, ew.
Haiku type, going to slay the moth.
I think we did just see the actual K45 entrance. If I'm not mistaken, Chex Human did just go there about a couple minutes ago. Or was that Haiku type that went there?
I believe that was Haiku type.
I think it was the one of the brothers up there, if I'm not mistaken. Haiku type is going to find his way down to Mothula right now. Thankfully, he did not get plucked from by the hand, as he now starts the fight with the bug. Gold sword, this is pretty much laughable at this point.
Yeah, easy peasy.
No trouble at all, as he finds half magic. Not progress, but very nice to have. And that is the 5th crystal for Haiku type. And as I'm looking at this, we still don't know where Ganon's tower is. So we are 2 crystals away from, and 1 Ganon's tower away from Ganon at this point.
And, Ganon himself, too. Where is that? What drop-downs haven't we seen yet?
I think there are only 5 locations, unless there's been a change in the logic somewhere. I think there are only 5 locations where Ganon can be. I know we've seen the one by Hyrule Castle. I think we saw the well area in Kakariko. I don't know if we dropped in the one by the lake or not, where the Houlihan trick is normally done. What are the other 2 locations?
Graveyard?
Graveyard, okay. And there was one more I'm trying to think of right now.
Kakariko Well, I believe.
Yeah, I think I said Kakariko Well. That one I know.
Oh, sorry, Blacksmith Well.
Blacksmith Well, okay. And I think we did drop into that at some point, the actual blacksmith himself, because we did find the mirror there. As Chex Human is now going through Eastern Palace, Haiku type finds blue mail. That's the Agina item.
Finding lots of nice things, but the progression is ever elusive. Although really, all we need is the hookshot for Go mode, if I'm not mistaken. Or well, do we need Titan's mitts? Although we might not know if we need Titan's mitts, given that the
we may not know. We don't know where Ice Palace is yet, and we know where Swamp is, but we don't know where the dam is. So if either of those locations requires the Titan's mitt, then yes, the Titan's mitt would be required as well. If those locations do not require the Titan's mitt, it could be very well. And again, and also if Ganon's tower does not require the Titan's mitt to get in, then it may be possible the hookshot could very well be our Go mode item today. There's another possibility that where we found the one half of Bumper's Cave earlier, the one entrance, you may have to go through that, so we may even need the cape to do that. We are still far away from determining where Go mode is.
And Haiku type is checking out the shopping mall, as they call it.
And I've been waiting to see this location. Let's see what's in here today. We have the other brother.
The other brother.
And entrance number 2 is... I think we've already been there.
Super funny entrance.
Yeah, I think we've been there already. Chex Human was zipping along there for a second. What happened there? I assume he was just dashing. I think this entrance comes out on top of K40 in the K45 area, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, that comes out of Thieves Town. Interesting.
How about that?
That's a few entrances that Haiku type now has access to. There's a ferry there.
Yeah, lots of doors here to check. So...
Chex Human now picks up his flute.
Won't be surprised if we find a decent enough place to go in Village of Outcasts, although we're really only finding shops. I didn't even know there were this many shops in the game.
You need this simply because the runners we watch typically don't go to those shops. A casual runner might very well know where some of those shops are. Oh, we found Gaines Tower.
In the brewery.
In the Village of Outcasts.
It's like Ganon's brushing up on his craft beer knowledge.
Yeah, I think he must. Even a big piece of bacon, even a big guy made of bacon, needs to have a pint now and then.
Have a nice Dark World ale or a Lake Hylia IPA.
I see we're making up brands of beer here. Personally, I like the Turtle Rock craft mode. It's pretty hot stuff, if you ask me.
I'm partial to the Misery Mire Stout.
Well, it's
really good for the cold, rainy weather they have there.
While we're making up types of beer, Haiku Type finds nothing of interest so far in Ganon's Tower, and as you noted, Couch Cash on the pedestal. We have a compass on the torch, so Bob is going to live today.
We can't get much further than this without the hook shot.
I think there is a way that you can bonk across. It's very, very hard to do, and the room in the north would not be on logic. But as you see, Haiku Type is trying to do that, and a bomb jump to finish the trip up there.
That's a bomb jump that I've never seen before.
He can then mirror back to the entrance and continue along, perhaps, or he may just try and continue going south from here as he's finding a couple keys. The cape, Bumper Cave, is now in logic, and where we found that earlier.
That cape, though. Although he bomb jumped across there, so...
Yeah, I just realized because I'm contradicting myself now. It's not in logic because if the hook shot were in that area somewhere, it would be illogical at this point. So yeah, it's not quite in logic yet.
Although he did get this far with legitimate bonks, which are in logic. Although is the I don't know if the entrance randomizer logic goes that far to account for all those bonks.
Well, obviously with the state of End Shuffle, we didn't play the big key guessing game. There's not really many ways to do that, unless you know where Ganon's Tower actually is located. We are well past. We're into about our 13th or 14th chest at this point, I believe. I think this is actually 14 through 17 right here.
If I were either of the runners at the moment, I would bail as hookshot is the go mode.
Red mail.
Red mail, that's all right.
And both runners are going through Ganon's Tower. I didn't even notice the Chex Human walked in there.
Yeah, he's right behind. But yeah, the hookshot is go mode for very skilled runners, such as the ones featured here that don't need the lamp. So yeah, I would not be here, as the hookshot can't be here.
Well, you still have to defeat Aghanim here in order to unlock the Ganon fight later, I believe. So you actually do have to clear it anyway. The runners are going to look for the big key at least, which I don't think we found yet, unless I completely missed it.
That's a good point that you raise. You're right. It's probably worth busting out Aga 1. Although that hook shot again, the one thing that it is 100% always needed for is to get to Aga 2.
Haiku Type causes Bob to teleport across the room and drops down to the Ice Armos fight after picking up his upgrade shield. Chest number 18. There are 3 chests behind here, and there's also Towel Room. The big key could be in Towel Room today, or it's back here. 300 bucks. Correct. Piece of heart. Full heart, if we have not seen the big key, it is in Tower Room. He is leaving. I don't think he's interested right now.
And Check's human, looking like he's not feeling too well. After he's picked up that red mail.
So Haiku type leaves, scans tower, goes back through the brother's house, and finds a portal in the Dark World water to travel across the Dark World. Again, this is an area we normally do not see in many versions of the game because we don't usually have a reason to go to those areas.
And if Haiku type does decide to go to Catfish, which there he goes, have we seen this check yet from Check's human?
I do not think so. Catfish, of course, never really has anything interesting on him. Probably just a bundle of bombs today.
He does actually, however, have something if you don't go and see him.
That's usually what happens. It's been a while, so could very well be there's something here today. And
no, thank you.
Equally useless items, so we won't take that either.
Check's human is giving us the tile room check, though, which I don't believe Haiku type did. I think he just moseyed on over.
I think we conclude this is the big key, so this tells you that Check's human wants to get this cleared while he's here. But I just realized as well, neither runner has the hook shot. They cannot logically clear it unless they can hover. So if he goes upstairs, it may be that he can hover.
Also, I like what Check's human is doing there with the cape. If you put the cape on and grab something and pull on it, you are not only invisible, but totally invulnerable from the hand, and your magic will not drain. So that makes that, if you have the cape, if I have the cape, I always do that room.
As Haiku type steps into Misery Mire, I'm reminded that we actually did miss the big key. It was actually in chest number 4 by the normal big key count. It was in the room before chest that Check's human is going into right now. So he's going to probably find it right now. And so again, we will see if Check's human goes upstairs or if he leaves and comes back later. It could very well be, and this would be extremely dirty. The hook shot could be upstairs.
If this was go mode, it'd be a Godmire. Finding the big key in the first chest.
That would speed things up pretty quickly. Mirror shield.
Indeed. Oh, so Check's human must have been here already, and we entirely missed that, because he's got the riot shield as well.
He's checking the big chest. That could have very well been the hook shot as well, but it was just a small key. And he is not going upstairs. If that hook shot is upstairs in some way, that is going to be an item that haunts a lot of runners.
Not here, just the shield and the fitty.
So it looks like we are going to go to Vidi very shortly here. He is going across the bridge to get to Vidi. And he is going to be doing
braving the dark room.
Yeah, he's going to do these rooms in the dark. No lantern. These are probably some of the most difficult rooms to do in the dark. I probably would not want to do them myself, to be honest with you, because they're that hard.
It's really tricky trying to place that block while those little laser goblins are spitting at you. Because if you just barely bump that Samaria block, it'll just go wherever it wants to. It's got a mind of its own.
Indeed, that is a very difficult dark room to do in the dark. We are going to... Well, no, he's not going in there right now. He's going to a ledge near Ice Palace. I don't know if we've seen this spot yet. Have we seen this, Chuck?
I don't believe so. I don't recall it anyhow. I don't think we've seen pod entrance either. Oh, well, here we go.
No, this is south of pod. This is south of pod. I remember that was Misery Mire. So yes, they're now both doing Misery Mire. So Happy Type is now working his way to Vitreous here, and he has the bow and the arrows. He's just gonna poke every single one of those eyes, and they're not gonna last very long. Or maybe not.
He's using cape strats. Wow, just take it out. He's got a golden sword.
The gold sword makes that really fast. I thought he was gonna use the arrows there, so he surprised me a little bit there. Could this be the hook shot? No, it's a small key. I wasn't counting keys.
No, they already did find the two items, being a Fiddy and the Riot Shield. But yeah, that was a beautiful Vitreous fight. I love seeing the fight like that.
So now he just has to do Swamp Palace. We know where Swamp Palace is. We don't know where the dam is. And I'm still thinking it could be located behind the Pyramid Ferry.
You know what? T-Rock entrance.
Could be. That's another option.
Yeah.
We'll see who's right if either of us is right. I know in a normal randomizer, speaking of Pyramid Ferry, and I actually called one of these the other day, where it's not very common that the Pyramid Ferry entrance is actually in the logic. So the fact that it could be the dam is kind of scary, because it is very uncommon for that location to actually be involved in the seed in some way.
Oh, well, and without the bomb, just finding it over at pod proper, we find the lamp.
The lamp
has been there the whole time.
They could have done this a long time ago if they brought $100 for Kiki the Monkey.
And Chex Human with the Visine strats. So yeah, that puts all the dark stuff that they've just done in logic, so they don't need to sweat about the fact that they just did Misery Mire, or the fact that they did, what was our 5, 6, yeah.
Turok and Palace of Darkness were the other dark rooms.
Yeah, Turok and Palace of Darkness. That puts,
it puts Pyramid Ferry Wall right into logic again. And Hikey Type's gonna get his useless item from the Ether Tablet. I think it was a rupee item. No, a piece of heart. Now we're making our look at Turtle Rock here. He's heading towards that area right now. This would put your prediction to the test here if this is the dam. I know he's going to drop off. He's not going to Turtle Rock yet.
Without the Titans, he can't get in there. Oh, he's putting that cape to use like you wanted to see.
And dropping down, we're going to see where this entrance finally comes out. And outside the Bumper Cave entrance is the island. What is on the island today?
Wow, look at that.
And he did not mirror to see what was on the island. Did we see that item earlier?
Good question, chat. But yeah, this is incredible. There was no other way for them to get up here, so that cape was required.
Yeah, that cape was required to get up here, I think.
Oh, maybe not.
Yep, we found a different way to get up here. Hyrule Castle would have come up here.
Yep, this is East Side Castle.
They never checked that exit, so they could have gotten here all this time as well. And now he's going to go and check out the basement, which he never checked out yet. I do not, if I'm not mistaken, ChecksHuman already checked this out and it wasn't of interest to us. So this will be a bit of a fruitless effort as ChecksHuman harasses the lovely fish in the lovely pond of circles.
Did we see the caves that are to the west of Gary's location in Dark World?
I don't think we have, but I also don't think we've seen what Gary would give us.
Well, we don't have the Titan's mitts to grab the Froggy.
Yeah, we don't know the dwarf item either.
That is a really good check to make because the Smith's house is just in the House of Mouse, aka the mouse hut where the bomb farm is.
Archetype heads out the main entrance of Hyrule Castle. He returns to well, have we been here yet?
No, we haven't, because we would normally need the Titan's mitts to get here. But we've gotten a stump dump, if you will.
We still can't get the dwarf out, but we can get into the area where the dwarf's house is. Now, that's obviously not where the dwarf is located. And as you said, I don't think we checked the other entrance there. I'm surprised he didn't check the other... No, there wasn't another entrance he could check. That's the other bomb hole. I wonder if that's where Ganon's located. Or drop hole, rather.
Could very well be.
And if that is the case, then he's happy to not waste his time there checking that out, because he can head right back inside instead to find another tasty burrito in the back of the castle. And he pauses in the entrance, contemplating his life choices. And he leaves.
What have I done? Where do I go from here?
I think he's going to... Nope, he's not going to check that. He's going to stay here and go into the light world.
He's making the play.
We're going to get the Pyramid Fairy. This is going to put my prediction to play here. Let's see what is in the Pyramid Fairy location. He warps to Link's house. Of course, he has to get to the Dark World, so he will take that path at some point. He's going to go through here, through the Hammer Peg access.
Yeah, this is a, I'm really focused on this. This is a long walk to be watching. I want to see what's behind that cave.
ChecksHuman takes the desert entrance path to work his way around the world. So he's going to go out the main entrance.
Ooh, he's going to get the bomb warp. Yes, he warps the bomb
he got
successfully.
It. And he starts to make his way up the pyramid, and ChecksHuman is checking out the not-so-hype cave. So Haiku-type drops the bomb, 3-second countdown. We are about to see whether the dam or something else, or even the hookshot, is located in Pyramid Fairy. Inside is...
It's the dang!
It is the dam! Oh my goodness. And that's the Titan's bit!
Wow!
10 points for me on that one. Oh my goodness. That was absolutely necessary. Now, not only was the required Titan's mitt inside the dam, but that dam was actually located in the Pyramid Fairy, a very unlikely place for any progression to be, and 2 forms of progression are found there today. My goodness.
That's what I call a hot dam.
No question.
Titans mitts and the opening of and the opening of the Swamp Palace.
Now it is noted. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It is noted in the chat that the hookshot is still at large, but now that the swamp is open, the hookshot could be in the swamp. Of course, it could still be upstairs in Ganon's tower, possibly right before the Moldorm fight. So there are still some options for the hookshot as well.
You know, that's true. I didn't consider that those last 3 chests at the very nearly tippy top of the tower might have the hookshot. But if it doesn't, then phew, I hope you know how to hover, because otherwise that would have been a massive waste of time.
No kidding. If you don't know how to hover, you're not going to make that gamble at the time that they were there. They want to find the hookshot first.
IQ type is putting the Titans to immediate use. Let's see what's in the TR entrance.
And as
it's probably in all likelihood Ice Palace.
I don't think we've seen Ice Palace yet. So yes, there's not a lot of things left that can be Ice Palace. So going into the head of the turtle, we have located the entrance to
this guy's house.
Yeah. Not really anything we want to do.
Well, at least he can go and leave now.
Or at least we rolled out that area. Yeah, at least we rolled that location out.
Thank God we know where he is. But we can check the Lake Hylia portal now.
And he is going to make the play on Swamp Palace now that he's ruled out Turtle Rock as being of any importance.
It's a good move.
Now, Ice Palace, of course, is a pendant, so it doesn't matter as long as the hookshot is not there. It does not matter where that palace is located. We know where Ganon's tower is. If we can find the hookshot, then we are pretty much done at this point.
Yeah, we can basically forget about it.
Yeah, if we find that hookshot, we don't have to worry about Ice Palace. We don't care where it is at that point. So we're going to keep going here, and we're going to see what is in Swamp Palace right now. It is possible the hookshot could be here. It is possible it could be in Ganon's tower. If it is an Ice Palace, we're going to be here for a while.
Get comfy, folks.
Get that popcorn.
Get me some popcorn.
Or pizza, if that's what you prefer. Tex Human is working his way through Skullwoods right now. He's going to go take on the Mothula fight right now, about to drop into that fight right now.
He has yet to take on Trinex, so he hasn't got the proper crystals to open up the dam yet.
No, and that dam we now know is very important. Or that entrance to the Pyramid Ferry is we now know is very important as it leads to the dam. As Chex Human gets his half magic from the dead bug, and gets his, I think that's his 4th crystal. No, 5th crystal. No, yeah, 4th crystal. 5th crystal. I can't do math again.
Take your time. It's okay.
You just try to speed count along the tracker. 1, 2, 3. I missed one. And our tracker Dimensive did point out that Chex Human still has not picked up the Ice Rod as well. That was located on another boss fight. I believe that was located on, let me just see where it would have been. It would have been on...
I think that was
Blind, I think.
Oh, no,
I think it was Blind. Blind's the only fight left that he can do that Haiku type has already done.
Yeah, and it's just, it's one of the bogus pendants as well, so you might not be too keen to go and fight Blind yet.
He may not be in a hurry to do that, and that's going to cost him a lot of time.
As if it wasn't already so easy to waste time in entrance randomizer. He gets a nice new shirt.
There's the big key.
With no hookshot, he's got to take the long way around in West Side Swamp.
Yeah, this is painful to take the long path. Gets interrupted in his dash attempt there. Drops into hammer dashing through a pot. Through another, not going to hammer dash through those pots. There's the hook shot!
I give up. I quit. This is just like, even as far as entrance shuffle goes, this is just crazy talk.
1 minute, or 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 20 seconds. Haiku type, I think we can call it, is in go mode. And we are going to beeline through the rest of this. We're going to beeline through the rest of this, head right upstairs to Ganon's tower. He's going to then go find some bacon. Chexiu, meanwhile, has dropped back into Thieves Town. He is about to get his blind fight. He is about to get his ice rod. He's going to say, really, game? You put me through all that? I could have just done this?
Yeah, though he is behindish as far as crystals go, since he is going back here, he will still finish with a very respectable time, I'm sure.
For entrance shuffle, anything under, I want to say anything 2.5, 3 hours is still considered very respectable. Entrance shuffle will twist every aspect of your brain. You have to have a good grasp for where everything is, be able to go wherever you need to instant recall. And like I said, anything 2.5, 3 hours is still a very respectable time. Anything sub 2:30 or especially sub 2 hour is absolutely sensational.
Especially given the antics that this seed has been up to so far.
Exactly. This is a great, like even sub 2:30 in this seed is a great time.
And to answer our tracker, no, we have no idea where Ice Palace is, and we're going to keep it that way.
Yeah, unless Check's human, because again, he can't get into Swamp yet. He hasn't been able to check the Pyramid Ferry yet. The question is, will he go straight to Thieves Town, or straight to Turtle Rock's back entrance, just to get to that Pyramid Ferry location? If he does, we're never going to know where Ice Palace is.
I think he might, just because he can do it.
Yeah.
And you gotta grab up your crystals when you can.
Yeah, once he sees that ice rod, he's gonna go straight to Turtle Rock. There's no reason for him to dilly-dally looking for Ice Palace to figure out if something's in there. We know there's nothing really important there. I mean, the Cane and Burner could be in there, or something like that, or the Blue Boomerang, but we don't need those. The shovel could be in there. We don't need it.
Oh, if the shovel's in there, then stop what you're doing. We're gonna get to Ice Palace as soon as we can.
Yeah, we need to return that shovel to your uncle. He borrowed a shovel and you never gave it back to him. So there's the ice rod for Check's human. As Haiku Type makes his way to the Dark World to where Ganon's Tower is located. It is located in the Village of Outcasts. I believe he was having a pint of beer, if I'm not mistaken. And there it is. Actually, I think that's the bomb hut entrance. That's not the brewery, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that is what they call the brewery.
Maybe it is.
Or the.
Oh, the Light World is the bomb hut entrance. I'm thinking the other way around. Okay, maybe it is the brewery.
And now Haiku Type is making his way up the tower. Uppity up. We still haven't found the Ganon drop, though. Could that be vanilla?
We have 2 locations where it could be, and yes, it could be vanilla. It very well could be in the pyramid as well. But we have not checked and Haiku Type did have a chance to, but never did. He never checked where the Batman drop would normally be. And I've got in chat earlier that we never checked the Lumberjack drop area either. That apparently could be it too. Now, we did see Check's human come out of I think it was Check's human coming out of the entrance to the pyramid, the back entrance where you have to drop down after falling to Ganon normally. I'm not sure how he got there, but we will see later where that Ganon drop is.
If that's the case, then that's probably indication enough that that Ganon drop it is not vanilla.
Indeed, that may be the case. Or maybe he might have found a way there somehow and realized it was a vanilla Ganon. So we're going to find out when Haiku-type gets there either way. We're not going to worry about that for right now. Haiku-type, or Chucksuman, meanwhile, does pick up the Turtle Rock Crystal, and do you think he's going to go straight to the Pyramid Fairy entrance?
It's a bold play. Yes, I believe so. He's going to go pick up that bomb. From the grumpy lady's house. She's running an Airbnb. She's got a interdimensional elephant living in there.
Now, I'm not going to spoil the results of the race beyond what I'm about to say here. We have had a couple people who have quit the race. I don't blame them. This is a ridiculous seed. I don't blame them for quitting at all. I'm not going to name who they are because I don't want to embarrass them live on air. But we have had anybody out. Yeah, not at all. But we still have, I think we're counting 7 runners still in the race. And none of them have finished yet. 2 of them are on your screen, 5 others who have not finished yet. So it is possible we could see our first place finish here on the left. And Checkhuman, as we said, gonna make that play the Pyramid Fairy. And I think he's gonna throw up a little bit in about 30 seconds. Either that or a little bit of swearing. And he now sees that this was indeed extremely important.
Who would have thought? Well, you would have thought.
I called it, but I always call the things that are not likely to happen, and it's happened twice that Pyramid Fairy was important in 3 races I've called, so I'm gonna say that's my favorite location now.
Yeah, I gotta say that's maybe that's our entrance rando's version of the pedestal.
I'm seeing a call for a sub 2 hour for Haiku-type. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be more like a 2:01. I think it's about he has to finish this fight before he can get to Ganon. There's a little cutscene that's to be played to open the pyramid. And if it's not a vanilla pyramid drop, we are going to definitely be seeing a time a little bit higher because we have to get to where Ganon is. So let's see what is in the pyramid if he checks that, as he has finished the Aghanim fight. Haiku-type is the first of our 2 runners to get all crystals and get through Aghanim 2. We are now looking for the big pig. And the bat crashes into the pyramid. And the bird,
the eagle has landed.
Drops him off. Haiku-type decides not to check. He might know where he is. I think we might have missed it.
He might have found him already, yeah.
Let's see where he goes. It might have been Haiku-type that I saw coming out of that entrance earlier.
There we have it.
He's heading straight for the outside Lumberjack's house, and he drops in, and we have found the pig. So clearly he knew where it was already. And Gan's a little unhappy because we didn't bring any food for him. Sorry, Gan, there is a shopping mall nearby. Go get your own food.
I'm with him on this one. It's just about lunchtime for me.
Checksuman actually got the dwarf. I don't think we saw Haiku-type check the dwarf, so let's see what happened, or what the dwarf... He went towards the normal dwarf location. So he just realized that he can't take him there because that's not a place where he's going to be able to be dropped off.
He must have a massive headache by now, and rightly so.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree.
Meanwhile, on Haiku type side, just a textbook Ganon fight.
And as you notice, when Ganon left his hint, in Entrance Shuffle, Ganon will tell you exactly where the silver arrows were. There's no... Oh, he almost fell down. There's no Light World, Dark World... Close. There's no Light World, Dark World ambiguity, and he actually will tell you, it was in the well. Did you find the well? Yes, Ganon, we found the well. Would you like to see some silver arrows?
Yeah, let me have a look at those. Oh, here, you can look at them. You can look at 4 of them.
Haiku type has finished the Ganon fight. He has a perilous trip across the bridge. Is this first place? Well, Haiku type, be our first place finisher in tonight's seed. He has a 2-tile step to make to do it.
What?
And he does the moonwalk, the swag finish.
What did I just see?
And the Triforce simply says, you win. And the Triforce is absolutely correct because Haiku type has finished in first place with swag with a time of 2 hours and 42 seconds.
GG Haiku type. That was some serious swag. I have never seen that before, personally. I'm sure it's common enough, but...
I have seen it before. Not a lot of runners will do that. Just a very, very hilarious bit of swag to finish off a very, very tricky seed, needless to say.
Yeah,
we'll see if we can get him.
That's some danger swag.
It is very dangerous to that extent, because if he goes slightly too far, he's in the pit and he's doing that fight again. Let's see if we can get him in here for an interview.
Yeah, bring him on in.
And welcome Haiku type, our first place finisher in tonight's seed. How are you doing today after that seed?
I'm doing okay.
What did you think of that one today?
Hitsuin said in chat in the IRC before the race started that this mode can be silly when it's not key sanity. And this, I felt, was a good example. Because at some point, I don't know how long I was looking for just the hook shot and a couple entrances, but maybe 40 minutes. And if someone else finds that, if someone else just stumbles on that early, you can get a huge swing.
And the probably the most important check of the game, and I'm very happy this happened. It's the second time in 3 races I've seen this location be extremely important. At what point did you think that the Pyramid Fairy wall check was something you might have to do?
I wasn't really thinking about it explicitly. I mean, I had it in mind, and at some point I was wondering, why haven't I finished Turtle Rock? But it's a long walk to turn that in, so it's sort of a less appealing entrance. But meanwhile, I wasn't going to dip any dungeons like Ice or go anywhere strange as long as I still needed the entrances for Mire and the Dam. So that was just one of the things I found. I think the only entrance I had left...
Ice Palace.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we still don't know where Ice Palace is. Neither you or ChecksHuman found that, and I don't know, because we're not seeing our other runners here, whether anyone else has found Ice Palace. Hopefully we find out later from someone.
Yes,
that's the only thing we don't know.
Yeah, I never found Sahasrara, so that he's either there or at Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I didn't see Sahasrara either, but yet, like you said, either of those could be located at Ganon's Tower. We didn't go into that location, as we already knew where Ganon's Tower was.
And also, how nervous were you getting as it was approaching nearly 1 hour before the Moon Pearl was acquired?
I wasn't feeling too bad about the Moon Pearl. I felt much worse about the hook shot because it had terrible places where it could be. I was sure it was going to be upstairs Ganon's Tower because of where the big key was. It just felt like that's what was going to happen. And because there was nothing on nothing was hook shot hookshot locked in the left side in Gandalf's Tower.
Oh, okay. So you were trying to get up some info while you were over there.
Yeah, exactly. The reason I sequence broke that side is if I find the mitts, and I happen to find the cape, but that didn't matter. Anyway, whatever I found there, I knew the hookshot couldn't be behind it, so that would gain me information. In the meantime, Ice Armos was in logic, I think. It's hard to tell with the keys. I wish I knew the... That was a seed that made me wish I knew the key logic in Ganon's Tower better.
Yeah, indeed. Very... lots of... there's enough things to keep track of, but then you gotta consider key logic as well.
Yeah, so I think Ice Armos was in logic there. So, gather information on the left, get the in-logic chests at the bottom. And
that way you know where not to go, in case you do find anything.
And I wasn't ready when I found Ganon's Tower to gamble upstairs. I wasn't quite yet ready.
And I'll just interrupt here briefly to say Checksuman is now working his way through Swamp Palace. He did find the dam at the Pyramid Ferry, as we noted earlier, Titan's Mitt. So he is working his way to his final crystal now. I believe he followed you behind into Ganon's Tower, not too far behind. So he does know where Ganon's Tower is. He will be following behind to get up to Aghanim to himself very shortly. Were you worried at some point the hookshot might be upstairs in Ganon's Tower?
Maybe my microphone was off, but I think that was what I was just talking about.
Oh, sorry.
He did say that.
I completely missed that. I was watching checks. My apologies.
So I want to know how did you feel doing left side swamp without the hook shot?
When I realized I forgot to check on my track, I didn't see the Ice Palace entrance before going to swamp.
Sorry, mate. You cut out there just briefly. If you want to run that by me one more time.
Yeah, so on my tracker, I forgot the Ice Palace entrance before going to Swamp. So I felt really bad about that and worried it would be Sahasrara. But at that point, I was thinking it was that and upstairs GT, so it was all bad options.
Yeah, at that point, without the hook shot, it really would feel like nothing but bad news.
And Checksuman, by the way, has now entered his go mode at 2 hours, 7 minutes, and about 30 seconds with the hook shot. I noticed that you're look on your stream. You're checking out Mimic Cave right now. Looks like you're trying to see what other entrances we might have that we don't know about yet.
Oh yeah, that's fabulous.
And I see inside Mimic Cave we did have a piece of heart.
Still gotta find that shovel.
Yeah, your uncle wants that shovel back.
Don't you just hate it when you lend your shovel to somebody and they turn into a tree?
Yeah, that's a little rude.
The worst.
So we're gonna get the Ganon's Tower check right now just to see what's inside Ganon's Tower. Chex Human got the 7th crystal now from Swamp Palace, as Haiku Type is making his way through Hyrule Castle, working around the world a little bit. Of course, Haiku Type is our first place finisher today, but he's seeing what entrances we have not uncovered yet on either stream.
Yeah, this is really cool. Cheers, Haiku Type, for showing us the rest of the world.
So here comes the Ganon's Tower check. We are about to see what was in Ganon's Tower today. Of course, Haiku Type never needed it, but we are going to see what's there anyway. And the crystals go into a circle. And spread out, and the stair drops down.
Meanwhile, Chex Human is inside Ganon's Tower.
And as Chex Human goes through Ganon's Tower, Haiku Type finds the old man is in Ganon's Tower.
Goodness, I've been trapped in here for thousands of years.
Nothing useful back there, but of course we knew that.
Yeah, so this spiral cave, I forgot to mark this. That was a big problem. I was pretty sure that I'd been there and there was nothing up there, but that was unmarked on my tracker and I was worried about it.
I wonder how the old man was able to live in Ganon's Tower, sealed up like that.
Well, he is one of the sages. Maybe this is an alternate timeline where the imprisoning war went horribly wrong and all the sages wound up in the Dark World instead.
So Chex Human is
hashtag Zelda lore.
So Chex Human is now making his way through the gauntlet, part of the Ganon's Tower. He is going to, at the end of this part of the gauntlet, get to the Land Moldus fight. We'll see how he does with that. I expect it will be pretty simple for him.
Really, really tight rooms as well, I want to point out. Really, really good execution through these rooms.
And we still don't know where Ice Palace is.
Ice Palace was early. It was at it's either the library or the race game. Right.
Okay. I think we missed that because neither of us noticed that, so we were wondering where that was the entire seed. I think that covers all the locations then.
Yeah, I believe so.
And our tracker Dimensive saying we forgot about because no one wants to think about ice. Dimensive is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
An Ice Palace-less seed is a good seed.
Agreed. That's not a fun place to go through. Chex Human is doing the torches on the 5th floor, about to... Oh, he missed a shot. That could cost him. Oh, he made it through. Just in time, I think, too.
Yeah, you know, if you get banked by one of those lasers just as the torch runs up, it despawns everything in the tower.
Yeah, I think it's as you go up the stairs, if I'm not mistaken. If you go up the stairs as the door closes, I think that's the trigger. It's never happened to me, so I'm not 100% sure myself. I think it's as you go up the stairs.
Actually, yeah, that does sound about right.
It's going up the stairs on the same frame the door closes.
Now, I know I've clipped it before, and it sounds like that's about the exact frame that it happens on.
I've never seen it myself, but I have heard tell.
Having trouble with the final hallway here. 4 times, he's been bounced around now. Finally gets through, finally gets up the stairs. And Chex Human now enters his version of the trigonometry fight. And let's see how he dispenses with Aghanim 2 in this go. I think that was a double.
Yeah, these are really good. This is actually a really friendly Aga 2 fight. Lots of good setups. Good geometry. And we got some
meanwhile,
strats from Chex Human. This is a swag-tastic race.
And Haiku-type is giving us a tour of Ice Palace to see what was inside there.
Haiku-type, I think you need to put out a tutorial on how to do that moonwalk dash.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. I love that.
Like, I swear you were 1 pixel from spilling over.
No, I wasn't, because if you go 1 pixel from spilling over, which I've tried to do, you turn around and you're facing north as you go through the door. So I screwed that up.
Oh, okay.
Looks like Chex Human also knows where the pig is located, as he didn't drop into the normal location. He's going to be heading over to the Lumberjack's house very soon to have his Ganon fight, as he now has everything done. Actually, he went to the witch first. That's interesting. Maybe he doesn't know where Ganon is. He's opened this hole. Nope, he must have just realized.
He's well on to it.
He's heading there now. I don't know what he was doing there, but it looks like he might have forgotten for a moment. But here he goes to the Lumberjack's house now, and he's going to drop in time for the big pig once again. And as we have this Ganon fight here, and he grumbles about the fact we didn't bring him any food again, very hungry pig. I will note that Wolf38 did finish in second place. He had an official SRL time of 2:11:17. Good game, Wolf38.
GG, Wolfie.
And look at Haiku types again. Time again, 2 hours, 0 minutes, 41 seconds. That's an exceptional time for a seed like this. This is a really difficult seed to navigate around, and no shame on any runners coming behind, because that's just an exceptional time. And as we noted earlier, anything 2.5 hours, also a great time for a seed like this. Chex Human does finish this Ganon fight, and he is about to have his own treacherous walk across a 2-pixel bridge. And he will be told momentarily that he has won as he crosses that bridge, and he comes officially in 3rd place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 54 seconds. Get your GGs in chat.
GGs all around.
And we'll see if we get him in here for an interview. And it looks like the cane of Berna was located in Ice Palace. Brian, we found your cane. Please check in with the Ice Palace ticket desk to get your cane.
The worth. Imagine dipping into Ice Palace just for Monty Python's Life of Berna.
And Chex Human is going to be joining us in just a moment here. I checked with him in Astaral. He's getting on his way over. And there he is. Chex Human, welcome. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish today. How are you feeling after that
Chex,
one?
my dude.
Thank you, GG's.
How are you feeling after that?
It was an interesting seed.
What are your initial thoughts and feelings?
The Moon Pearl was a fun, convoluted search. Took me a bit too long to find it. Yeah, I don't know. I should have gone to Kakariko first to get boots.
That moon. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Wizard. Sorry.
I was just gonna say the that particular location at that point was quite out of the way, so I wouldn't feel too bad about grabbing that up. But yeah, it was a heck of a hunt to watch unfold as we search for that pearl.
And even our first place finisher, we had Haiku Type next to you on the stream, and even we don't know how the other runners did with their Moon Pearl search, and we did have a couple people forfeit. I'm guessing they didn't find it, unfortunately. But even Haiku Type, it took him until about an hour to find the Moon Pearl himself. So that was a very difficult item to find, and that was the first of that wasn't the only item. It was the first of a couple of other really nutty locations items that we had to find just to get through that seed today.
Yeah, for sure.
This is definitely a seed for the books.
And the concern that we had as you guys are going through Gan's Tower, I was starting to worry that the hookshot might be upstairs. Did you ever consider that as you were going through Gan's Tower?
It seemed pretty unlikely. And I would have gone to Ice Palace to search first if I hadn't found hookshot. And then I don't know, I would have gone to Gan's Tower at some point.
Yeah, that would have been one of the nightmare scenarios, having to go upstairs to get the hookshot just to finish Swamp Palace. That would have been a true nightmare scenario right there.
Or even versus going all the way up there, and all the way up to that final chest just before Moldorm 2, and not finding it.
Yeah, that's equally just as bad. And at the same time, the Pyramid Fairy comes up strong again.
Yeah. It happens. I'm not surprised, but it's kind of funny that it was sort of the second to last problem, you know.
Yeah, I noticed that Haiku Type had those 2 crystals, and I immediately had that dread sense of feeling that was where we had to go. And it feels sick anytime that location has something.
I think that was your call from the very beginning, though, Cyclone, wasn't it?
Not from the very beginning. I think I called it once I saw that Haiku Type had the 2 crystals. I said, I think the Pyramid Fairy has the progression, and just a lucky call on my part. You get those once in a while.
Did anyone find Sahasrarla?
Yeah, Haiku Type did explore the rest of the world after he had finished. He did find, and we missed where Ice Palace was early in the seed, so we were wondering where that was the entire seed. We didn't see it ourselves. Okay. But he did eventually explore. He found the Cane of Burna hiding in there. So Brian's Cane wasn't at play today anywhere. The Old Man was located locked in Gana's Tower. Must take some great skill to survive locked up there.
Yeah, sealed away
I beg your pardon?
Where did he?
The Old Man was locked in Ganon's Tower.
The Old Man was locked in Ganon's Tower.
So
how do you mean?
He means Sahasrarla.
His sealing magic backfired on him.
Gotcha.
Alright, so Chex, I have a question. When you're saying the hookshot was unlikely to be upstairs, was that a read on the key logic?
No, just in general. That's my understanding. Because of the key logic, yeah. But I didn't read this key logic in particular.
Alright, it's just generally unlikely, even though the big key was on the right like that.
Right, it's something like you need 3 keys or something. I don't know if that's true.
It is generally unlikely. Obviously, it can happen, but it is, as you said, generally unlikely, and it's equally unlikely the Pyramid Fairy has anything, and that happened in this seed. So this was
unlikely all around.
This was one of those seeds that just twisted your mind, and you checked everything else, and you're like, no, it can't be there. It cannot be there, and then it's there, and it's like, well, I wish I checked that earlier.
But not only were the not only was the dang behind the Pyramid Fairy wall, but the Titan's mitts were in there too.
Right. Well, who cares about those?
we didn't actually need the Titan's mitts, though, did we? That didn't actually. Those weren't required.
No.
It didn't come into play. We were worried that it might come into play if there was a Titan's mitts locked location, but I think we got back way workaround pass into almost every location that they just turned out not to be needed anyway to get anywhere.
No, you want to assume that they're not required, and then sometimes you have a sinking feeling that they are.
Very unlikely unless the entrances map out a specific way that there's one stuck behind a rock somewhere, and that's where your dungeon's located. That very unlikely, but obviously it can happen.
Very unlikely something pyramid fairy.
Indeed, no question. That's got to be the absolute worst, needless to say.
So thanks for the commentary and good game to checks. Thanks for the race, and thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks for showcasing for us, Haiku Type, and GG once again.
Good game to both of you today, Haiku Type and Chex Human. Good game to both of you. You put on a great show today, first place and third place respectively. It was absolutely fantastic watching you run through the seed today. Thank you for the great show.
Yeah, very, very well done, gents. Thank you for the show. And chat, don't forget to follow these runners. You've seen how good they are here. Why don't you, if you give them a follow, you'll be able to get alerted and watch them run seeds just like this all the time.
Just taking a quick look at the schedule, I want to make a quick note that there is a Zelda 1 race starting right now, Zelda 1 Randomizer. If you like the randomizer for Link to the Past, wait till you see Zelda 1 randomized. It's on the main Speed Gaming channel right now. Looking at some other events that are on right now, Speed Gaming 5, we have a Paper Mario 1000-Year Door. This is not so much a race, it's more of a points game, but it is a randomizer points game. They play for 1 hour. It's a 2 out of 3 series. That'll be on for at least a couple hours as well, start at 11 o'clock. And there's also another Link to the Past randomizer race started about 10:20. That's on at Speed Gaming 3 right now. So there's a little taste of what's going on the Speed Gaming schedule right now. Looking ahead to tomorrow, our day tomorrow starts at 2 o'clock with 3 more races, including another Link to the Past daily race, some Portal, and some Cuphead. And that just starts our day tomorrow. So with that said, G Wizard, do you have any last thoughts on the seed today?
I don't think I even have a capacity to think about this seed anymore, quite frankly.
Yeah, let's call this a night and go to. Oh, and I didn't even notice the Haiku Type did check the pedestal, and we do have pulled from the pedestal $20.
The Master Big 20.
The Master Red Rupee. So now we have every location I think checked in the seed that is really worth checking at this point. And I think it's a good place to wrap it up.
We can rest easy now.
I think we can wrap it up here. So I want to thank everyone for coming out and watching the seed tonight. It was truly a fantastic seed, a really tricky seed to go through. I'll note a couple more finishes before we wrap here. Dracarys finished in 4th place at 2:20.12. Plasma Kappa finished in 5th place with a time of 2:28.28. Good game to both of them. We do have a couple more runners, but we're not going to stay on there to see when they finish in the IRC. We're going to call it a night and get ready for some more races tomorrow and to host one of these 3 races going on right now. So I want to thank everyone for coming out. And great to hang out with all of you and great to talk about some Zelda with you. I'm going to give you the final word, G Wizard. Have a good night, everyone.
All right. And yeah, same what Chex Human said, or not, sorry, Cyclone. I've only been with him for the past 2 hours. I was looking at Chex Human's name while I said. Anyway, just wanted to shout out Dimensive, our wonderful tracker. Did a great job. Thanks for putting in the hard work for us there, pal.
Yes, thank you.
GG to you, Dimensive. And GG to you too, Cyclone. Thanks for the good commentary. Pleasure to work with you.
Likewise. Have a great night, everyone.
See you later, folks.